Welcome to Southwest Now, the video magazine that focuses on the educational and career training opportunities at Southwest Tennessee Community College. We're in the lobby of Southwest's new Nursing, Natural Sciences, and Biotechnology building to bring you this edition of Southwest Now, which focuses on the Tennessee Promise. Beginning with the year 2015, students in Tennessee may apply for the Tennessee Promise Scholarship, which provides 2 years tuition-free education at any community college or technical center. According to state officials, more than 55,000 high school seniors have taken the Tennessee Promise. Vice President Dwayne Scott and Associate Director Elizabeth Romagny will be here to bring you up to date. The Southwest Dual Enrollment Program gives middle and high school students an opportunity to jumpstart their college education. Executive Director of Special Academic Programs, Angela Ventura Walton, will tell you how you can enroll your child. We'll take you to the Honor Suite, where Department Chair of Languages and Literature, Thad Cockle, and his staff will introduce you to the new Chi Epsilon chapter of the Sigma Delta Theta Honor Society, travel abroad initiatives, and much more. Up first is details on the Tennessee Promise Scholarship. Let's watch. Here to discuss the Tennessee Promise is Vice President of Student Services and Enrollment Management, Dwayne Scott, along with Elizabeth Romagny, who is the Associate Director of Financial Aid. We have so much to talk about, so Dr. Scott, we're going to just jump right into it. Now, back in the summer of 2013, Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam launched the Drive to 55. What is that, and how does that relate to the Tennessee Promise?
The Drive to 55 is an initiative, as you indicated, established by the governor. Essentially, he created that program or that particular initiative to increase the number of Tennesseans to earn a credential, an academic credential or certificate. 55% of the Tennesseans to earn a credential or academic certificate by the year 2025. A part of that initiative, he developed or proposed the Tennessee Promise. And the Tennessee Promise offers scholarship dollars to students who will enroll in community colleges.
The Tennessee Promise is an ongoing commitment to high school graduates that they can attend 2 years of community college or a college of applied technology absolutely free of tuition and fees. Cost is often the biggest hurdle to furthering education. Through the Tennessee Promise, we're fighting the rising cost of higher education, and we're raising our expectations as a state. We are committed to making a clear statement to families that education beyond high school is a priority. Tennessee will be the only state in the country to offer our high school graduates 2 years of community college with no tuition or fees, along with the support of dedicated mentors.
You have an opportunity here with the Tennessee Promise to take your first year, 2 years of coursework, basically at no cost or minimal cost to a family, and then move to a four-year institution, so essentially cutting the cost of attending college in half with the Tennessee Promise. So the cost of college over a 4-year period is estimated in the state of Tennessee to be anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000. So you just cut that cost in half if you have the Tennessee Promise Scholarship. So you're talking about students getting out of college with less debt, able to buy a home, different things of that nature without having so much debt after a 4-year period. So the promise is exactly that. It's promise. It has great promise for students in the state of Tennessee, because as you look at historical information, the higher the degree attainment, the more money you earn over a lifetime. The higher the degree attainment, the less likely you are to be unemployed.
Okay, now who can participate in the Tennessee Promise?
Any student who is a graduating senior can apply for the Tennessee Promise scholarship. There are certain criteria that each student will have to meet in order to be eligible to receive the scholarship. There is a deadline. The deadline has passed. November 1 was the deadline for the scholarship. And then after that, there are certain benchmarks that a student has to meet. For example, a student has to have 8 hours of community service before they enroll. They have to participate in 2 orientation sessions with a mentor. And they also have to attend orientation on the campus and, of course, apply. They also have to apply for financial aid by a certain date as well. And part of the Tennessee Promise in maintaining that scholarship is that you have to remain in full-time status. You have to earn a 2.0 cumulative GPA semester in and semester out, and you also have to reapply every summer for the Tennessee Promise.
Tennessee Promise really is a remarkable opportunity, as you've said, and Elizabeth, it is a last dollar scholarship. So what does that mean?
Well, a last dollar scholarship, like Tennessee Promise, basically means that any tuition or mandatory fees that are not paid through the traditional Pell Grant or federal grant monies, and that's through the financial aid application, or through any state funding like the lottery scholarships or the Tennessee corporation that actually sends out scholarship monies for students there too. Any of those funds that leave a tuition balance left unpaid will be covered by Tennessee Promise.
Okay, so those are last dollars. So
And
if
that's
you've
the
gotten
last dollar.
other kinds of financial aid and it didn't meet all of your obligations, then we'll dip into that source to
Correct.
complete it. Okay. Now, how much does that scholarship pay?
Well, it's all going to be different for each student, and that's going to be determined by the amount of different funds available that they have to them, that federal Pell Grant, or if they do qualify for the Hooper Lottery.
So you just have to enroll and fill out your information.
Yep.
Now, what financial aid, Dr. Scott or Elizabeth, either of you, what document, financial aid document, minimal that you'll need to complete in order to qualify for the Tennessee Promise?
That's going to be your free application for federal student aid, or what we refer to as the FAFSA. And that
Okay.
is a free form through the federal government, and that applies for everything. So that'll basically tell us everything that you're going to be eligible for. And then after we determine that eligibility, then the eligibility will be determined for the Tennessee Promise.
So that's the message you're getting out there, Dr. Scott. When we enroll students, we're letting them know, hey, you got to do, enroll online, and then you have to fill out that free federal financial aid scholarship to, kind of get you in there,
To
get your name in
the process, to keep you a part of the program. The different criteria I mentioned to you earlier, if those students don't complete that, then they're no longer eligible to participate in Tennessee Promise.
Okay, then. And then now, how do you determine how those funds are dispersed? Or how do students actually get that funding?
The funding will come paid directly to their student account here at Southwest when they start attending, and we confirm their enrollment into their courses. So it's after that typical period of our confirmation of them attending the courses and what they're eligible for that those payments are made directly to their accounts.
If someone were interested in more information, is there a number or a website that they can go to?
They can go to TennesseePromise.gov on the Tennessee Promise, or they can contact us at recruitment.southwest.tn.edu.
Give us that again, Dr. Scott.
Recruitment@southwest.tn.edu.
We've been speaking with Dr. Dwayne Scott, who is the Vice President of Student Services and Enrollment Management here at Southwest, along with Elizabeth Romagny, who is the Associate Director of Financial Aid. Next, we give you the ins and outs of the dual enrollment program. Watch this. Joining me is Executive Director of Special Academic Programs, Angela Ventura Walton. Angela, it's so good to have you back again. It's been a while.
It has. It's been about 6 years.
It's a long time. Now, you've been doing a lot in those 6 years, and today we're talking about the dual enrollment program. Explain that concept.
The dual enrollment program is where high school students take college courses for high school graduation and towards college graduation.
So that means that they get credits for both the
Yes.
high school, or from both the high school and the college.
They get credit for both. For instance, if they take English at Southwest, they will get their senior level English credit and they get college level English credit.
So when they start college, they are actually ahead of the game.
They are ahead of the game.
Okay, now, what grade must a high school student be in what grade must they be before they can participate in the program?
Well, you're asking the wrong person because we have started as young as 8th grade. I'm a dual enrollment baby. I started in 8th grade. So I think that they can begin in the 8th grade, and we've had students to take keyboarding and academic success while they were in the 8th grade, and forensics, and they did well.
And how many students do you serve annually?
Usually about 680 or so.
That's a lot of students. So how many courses are being offered in the dual enrollment program? How many selections do students have?
That's what's great about Southwest. Southwest is a sophomore level institution, so everything that we offer is eligible for dual enrollment.
That's amazing. Now, what days are the classes taught? Is there any specific time that students have to be there or have to go to school?
It's just like being in regular college. Anytime a course is offered, they can take it. The only additional bonus that they have is that we will also offer the courses at their high school while they're at school. So they have options all day, in the evenings, on Sundays. They have a plethora of options available.
Is there a limit to the number of courses a student can take?
No, there's not. We have students, homeschool students, that supplement their entire curriculum with us. There is no limit unless you are using the dual enrollment lottery grant, which has a limit of $1,200 or 4 courses. But other than that, whatever you desire, it's open.
Describe a typical dual enrollment class.
Oh, a typical one.
Especially one that, do you teach yourself?
I do.
Okay, let's talk about your classes particularly.
Well, okay, I've had many different kinds. We have some courses that have college students and high school students in them. They tend to motivate each other. The college students are excited to have the high school students, and they don't want them to outdo them. And then the high school students are like, okay, I can do this, because they see the college student. We have some courses that have just the high school students in them. The courses that are on a high school campus that will meet every day, and then the regular courses that are offered at our campus and at some of our satellite campuses. There are so many different ways that they can be offered.
Now, we were talking a little bit before the show, and your excitement really does show. What makes these programs work?
You have to love young people, because whatever you give them or expect of them, they always give it back to you. They will always give it back to you. If you expect the most, they will give you the most. So it's a mutual agreement, and we both benefit.
So it's a win-win.
It is.
Now, you say you do things with them. What kinds of things do you do with them?
Oh, cheerleader practice, go to football games, we go on trips, we do community service together. That's just some of the things. We start businesses together.
Businesses. Now, you said you've started a business recently, or you're getting ready to start one. You've done one already. So tell us about that. How does that work?
This summer, our students that were in academic success that desire to be business students. Well, in order for them to find out, is this what I want to do? Well, let's start a business while we're getting you familiar with being in college. So they started a coffee business on the Union campus, and they loved it. They had a ball, and campus loved it. It was very unique. We had a couple of our regular college students in there. They joined in. It was wonderful.
So I take it you get lots of community support.
We do. We do. It's amazing. We get a lot of parental support. We get a lot of community support. Once people see the youth in their community being active, you'd be surprised at people coming out of the woodwork that want to help the students.
And upon completion, what does the typical student do? What are their options and their choices? Do they go to work, or do they come on to college? Do they do them both? What does a student do once they've completed, and what's out there for them?
It just depends on the area. We have a lot of students that complete the technical certificates at the same time they complete high school. They can go to work, or they can go to school. We have a lot that go straight to work, and then the employers pay for their education. We have a lot that enroll in post-secondary education and complete and go on to work, and then they come back. We have a couple, and I don't want to date myself, but I have a couple that are now adjuncts in engineering.
That is so interesting. Now, you do a dual enrollment camp or a summer camp. So what are some of the kinds of things that you do there?
One of the largest ones we did this summer, we had 40 athletes from Shelby County Schools. They all took Intro to Business, and they played intramural basketball. They had tournaments every Friday. They competed against outside teams, and they loved it. Their coaches, they coached them, they practiced with them, they went to class with them. So these were all males. Their coaches were mentors and followed them to class. All of their teachers were males, and we had an 89% pass rate. It was excellent. We also had a forensic summer camp for students from 7th to the 9th grade. That was wonderful because you know how interesting forensics is.
It's
captured
interesting.
it.
It's very hot. It's so much. And
It
it's all
was
on
wonderful.
TV.
Yes, it was wonderful. And then we had the academic success where those students started businesses. We had a group of cheerleaders that started a cheer camp as their business while they were studying how to get into college. And once they finished the course, they were actually enrolled in Southwest. We used that as a conduit to get them into Southwest. So when they finished, they just enrolled and came in the fall.
That is really, really interesting. Now, if you were to recap and to just say in maybe a few words the advantages of the dual enrollment program.
I am a dual enrollment baby, so I know the advantages. When I went to school, I was a junior. I only have one more year left of school, which means everything, you know, every employer wants you to be an academic, but they want you to have been active in college. So if you have courses out of the way, it allows you to be more active in other things. So you can show your leadership skills. You can show skills in the community. It allows you to expand and not just be focused on academics, but you can be a holistic student, which makes you much more sellable to an employer. And it reduces the cost for the parents. You know, everybody loves a college student that doesn't require a lot of money. So it reduces the cost for the parent, and it makes students secure. They know that they can do it. So the rest of the pathway, they're like, oh, I got this. I know this.
So you're proof that it works. So for more information about the program, those people who are listening, people who are watching, I'm sure they're going to want to get their children involved. So what do they need to do?
They need to call the Office of Special Academic Programs, and the number is 901-333-5885. There are dual enrollment case managers and dual enrollment specialists that will walk you all the way through it. We take care of our young people. They are part of our family, and we'd love to have you.
So much good information. Thank you so much, Angela Ventura Walton.
Thank you.
She is the Executive Director of Special Academic Programs at Southwest. Thank you. We go now to the Honor Suite to learn more about the Languages and Literature Department's latest initiatives. Hello everyone, we're on location at Southwest Honor Suite where we'll be speaking with Department Chair of Languages and Literature Thad Cockrell, along with Professors David Huffman, Daniel Gillespie, and also Jerome Wilson. Thank you gentlemen so much for being here.
Thank you, Brenda, for having us.
I'll have to welcome you back again because this is not your first time. You were a guest with us a long time ago when Southwest now was in its infancy. But since that time, you have been moved to a different position. You're now Department Chair of Languages and Literature, and you have so much going on. This is such an exciting time for you. So kind of update us and give us an overview and tell us some of the things that are happening.
You are exactly right. We have a lot going on in the department, and you have some of the hardest working faculty members here with us today. Languages and literature at Southwest includes English, French, Spanish, and reading. In addition to those courses, we have opportunities for students to participate in the Honors Academy through Honors Composition 1 and Honors Composition 2. We have opportunities for travel abroad, which
that's exciting.
It's very exciting. And we have an ESL program, English as a Second Language, and a course called Spanish for Special Purposes, which from semester to semester might vary some. One semester we had a focus on landscape management, and we've also had a special course for law enforcement officers in Spanish.
Well, that's awesome. And then you were saying that we do have honor societies and lots of opportunities for our students to participate in extracurricular activities. And speaking of which, Mr. Huffman, or should I say Dave?
Yes.
We recently just charted Chi Epsilon. That's a chapter of what, Sigma Kappa Delta
That's
Honor
true.
Society?
Yeah, Sigma Kappa Delta is our 2-year English Honor Society. And of course, it was founded under the Sigma Tau Delta, which is a 4-year International English Honor Society. And actually, it is, like I say, English Honor Society for Southwest, and we have worked with Calhoun Community College in Decatur, Alabama, which is the national headquarters. In fact, last semester, we actually visited there to see a Sigma Kappa Delta sponsored event, which was Billy Collins, the U.S. Poet Laureate from 2001 to 2003, and get a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a hands-on with that particular institution to see how they promote events, as well as how they conduct their affairs, as well as their honor society. You know.
Now, with the charter members that were recently inducted, do you have the names of those, and was there a lot of excitement around that?
A lot of excitement in the initial charter members, and of course, I think Professor Gillespie, did you have those names?
Yes, we were excited to have Eve Yoser, Jennifer Cooper, Jennifer Vivar, who was not able to be present, and Sharon Buckner.
Okay, and you, of course, have activities for them, and you had a real big bash recently, and sounds like it was a lot of fun. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was an exciting time. The Halloween party that we had was our first major event. It was sort of a Poe and Edgar Allan Poe themed party where we had some costumes and stuff like
Really
that.
appropriate. He can be kind of
It's kind of dark, kind of edgy, right?
Right.
But I think everybody enjoyed it. We had a great time. You know, we had candy and refreshments and everything. And it just goes to show that this organization is all about the students.
That sounds really great because it really intensifies student retention when they're engaged and involved here on campus. And talking about engagement, of course, you took students on a trip abroad, which I've gone before to France with a group of students, and that was exciting. So where did you go, and kind of tell us about that?
We've taken them on major excursions. I mean, everything from Shakespeare's birthplace to the homes, the graves, the gravesite. We've actually, London Eye, we can see a number of top-billed plays, top-shelf Broadway plays while we're there.
That's
and of course
exciting.
And very educational. We visit museums, national galleries, and can you just imagine to fly around the world? And of course we provide their lodging. We provide 2 meals a day. We provide all of the excursions, and they have just a minimal amount that they're responsible for.
Study abroad has created so many opportunities for Southwest students, and then again, our students are so engaged, and under your leadership that in the languages and literature department, there are so many opportunities for students to get involved, like creative writing.
There really are. There are lots of opportunities, and as you know, we're expecting some growth with the Tennessee Promise Scholarship in fall of 2015, and we want to make students feel welcome so that they can be at home here at Southwest for their first 2 years of college. So in addition to what Daniel and Dave have spoken about, Jerome could speak to some of the creative writing opportunities we have and our literary journal Hieroglyph.
Yeah, sure. Hieroglyph is the Southwest official literary magazine, and is open to anyone that's associated with Southwest. That includes faculty, staff, and especially students, as well as former students. Anyone can contribute, and we accept publications, submissions.
So it's articles, poetry, or is there a limit to what we can submit?
Yes, all of the above, actually. Yes, fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and even artwork. And we accept year-round.
That's awesome. That's really
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, you've had some incredible people come to do workshops and to also perform their work. And can you just share with us a few of the people who've come?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, we had Jason McCall, a visiting poet from the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Young poet, matter of fact, he just published his 4th book. And not too long ago, we had Ellen Gilchrist, who visited the school.
Tell us a little bit about Ellen.
Well, she conducted a workshop, fiction workshop, as well as nonfiction workshop. She worked with about 15 students, I think. And she gave a public reading later on that evening, which was really great.
That's always exciting. That the Languages and Literature Department is so engaging. There's so many activities for our students. Now, if someone's listening out there and wants to get into that program, what do they need to do, or who do they need to call?
If the students or interested people will visit southwest.tn.edu and go to academics and then languages and literature, we have information about our programs and even information about specific faculty members in the department. But if they prefer to speak to someone in person, I'd be happy to take calls at 333-5208.
Excellent. We've been speaking with Department Chair Pat Cockrell, along with Professors Dave Huffman, Daniel Gillespie, and also Jerome Wilson. Once again, thank you so much for inviting us over. We've come to the end of this edition of Southwest Now. Southwest Now is a joint production of the Communications and Marketing and Multimedia Services and Digital Production Departments. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Rayner. We'll see you next time.